Greetings, citizens of the Imperium, citizens of the Inner Sphere, and welcome to another episode of Let's Paint. Well, the time has come. This mini has been sitting on my shelf for a little bit over a year now. It is the Wolf Priest. So let's not dilly-dally far too long here. We are going to implement a slap job technique, and we are going to start with the arm. The left arm, to be specific. We're going to start with uniform gray. Now, there's a whole reason that we're starting like this. They are chaplains, as everybody should know. They are chaplains, so of course they wear black armor. My personal style is that chaplains in, say, my Sanguine Heresy project is that chaplains, apothecaries, librarians, any specialty, they still wear the colors of their respected specialty, and their left arm, the pauldron arm, the insignia arm, is going to bear the colors of the chapter. So say we have an Imperial Fist who's an apothecary. You're going to have white armor, but of course that left arm is going to be yellow. That's right. Now we're already going to jump over with ash gray. So, that is exactly what we're doing here when it comes to this Wolf Priest. Alright. And we just might do another layer of rust gray to give it that blue tint. But either way, besides all that noise, howdy everybody. How we doing? I hope we're doing good. We are doing pretty good. We did not have the best morning this morning. What had happened was we went to the local skate park, and the resident homeless guy who lives there and has some mental issues, just like anybody, decided to have a really bad day and try to take it out on everyone else, and was threatening people, specifically me, nephew, children, just because we were there. So that didn't end well. He ended up leaving, but only after the police were called. So, yeah. I took my children, left, because I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I've messed with homeless before, and I've messed with the mentally ill before. Not like I've messed with them or anything, but been around it, had to be involved with that kind of stuff. Yeah. Not having that around my kids. So we skedaddled. Got my kids up out of there. This is why I will always back anyone who conceals carries. Not saying anything like that really needed to happen. I'm not exactly, as much as I am for ridiculousness, things do not need to escalate to that point. But really wish I had been concealing carrying right there, just in case. I would have rather have been that safe than that sorry. So I hope everybody out there stays safe. That's just, it's been bothering me all damn day, because I was really looking forward to getting my kids out there skating, having a good time, as we were. You know, we've been having a great time together skating. I know some of you had even seen me post the videos of it. Yeah, believe it or not, I used to be an avid skater. It was about 18 years ago that I had last skated seriously. So yeah, like I said, that one was just, it's been weighing on me all day. It's had me in a bit of a funk because I'm like, dude, don't really care how bad you're having it, what your story is. You're basically threatening me and innocent children. I ain't got time for that. I don't have any respect for it. I lose all understanding of your personal story. All sympathy flies out the window. You can go to hell. And I'm not having it. Not dealing with that. But other than that, there we go. Nice little powdery effect. Brightens up that armor a little bit. It will darken back up once we hit it with some Nuln Oil. Excuse me. But what I wanted to do, of course, was get everything a nice powder look to it. We'll even hit the arm just a little bit here. All right. We're even going old school with the music today. We've got some Mega Man X jazz going, just like we used to. And of course, since I glossed over it, yes, this is a Assault Intercessor. Jump Pack Marine. I want to say the body was something special, like one of those, like a lieutenant or something, but honestly, I think it was just one of the 5, out of the pack of 5. I think it was just one of those. So nothing too special here. Not to say he ain't special, but he's aight. Get that a nice powder. Highlight everything. All right. We were trying to take great care when it came to selecting this. The pauldron for the right arm had to be changed up a few times, only because the initial idea that I had was not working, and that was starting to get on my nerves. So I was like, oh my god, what is going to work then? Because I kind of need this to work. And whew, I don't know. We landed with this. I wanted it to look a little more special. It'll be okay. I think the transfers that we chose should stand out a little bit. It might not be that traditional, but that's okay. Never been one for traditional, right? Not too traditional. We like to do things our way here on the channel, as you guys know. Like to do things our way. But that's okay. Where is it? There it is. All right, and here is the pauldron that we have from one of the Space Wolf upgrade packs. I want to say it's from the Firstborn Marine, but don't quote me on that. It's been so long that I cannot remember, and honestly, I'm not that worried about it. But we are going to go with a white. We are going to go with white. All right, let's clean that brush a bit, and we will come back with another layer on that so it's not all streaky and that it thickens up nice and tight for us. Nice and tight. I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? All right. Let's get a little bit more white out. We've been using the matte white. Woohoo. And I want to make sure that some of these leather bits are bright enough. All right. Not bad. Not bad. There we go. There we go. You don't need to do a lot. It just needs to be enough, because when we slap it with the... what am I thinking? It's the leather I always use. My God, the snakebite leather. Whew! That it will show up nice. And it'll go right all over. All right, we're even getting rid of some. Oh, you know, kind of like we're dry brushing. But I'm trying to make sure that we actually get the belt and the other leather bits, so that those bits do stand out. I can't even remember, it's been so long, which pieces are original and which are added. Like, I'm pretty sure this grenade belt right here was something that I added to it. Pretty sure. If it wasn't, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I'll just be like, oh, okay, cool. So GW made a good call by adding that. But if not, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. My apologies, though, if I seem a little wonky, or if I seem a little out of it. I'm very tired. Yesterday we spent about 5 hours or so at the skate park, and good Lord, that was a long time for all of us, and we're still feeling it today. I was so damn tired, so tired all day. And then this morning when they were like, yeah, let's go back, I was like, oh my God. I mean, okay, I'm all for it. Just whew. All right, Daddy's gonna be going a little slower. And that was the other part that pissed me off about when we went there was, dude, we just got there. Like, I put the backpack down and we took a lap. And all that fun crap started. And I was like, dude, I don't have time for this shit today. Really, really don't. All right, let's see what we got here. I even have my trusty coffee. Canned coffee, that is. We're kind of trusty. Oh my God. Whew. Another long day for us tomorrow. We may attempt the skate park tomorrow. I would like to, but like I said, I'm not willing to have my family at risk around some craziness. But, you know, people want to act like that. You can act like that to some cops. You're not, I don't know. You're not going to stand there and threaten a bunch of children just because you're having problems, man. Sorry, not sorry. I'm drawing a line there. All right. What do we have? We have that rune right there. Let's get that clean. That rune that's on the necklace, I'm going to paint that white. That's usually something that I go for when it comes to being white. Like, I used to be like, oh, that rune is going to be made out of bone. He's got a nice piece of bone tooth right here that I will highlight a little bit there. Yeah. So the rest of it doesn't, this rune piece doesn't need to be bone. I don't know, maybe it's a polished bone. Right? Right. It's okay. We can use our imagination with it. Just like the skull mask. Skull mask, in case anybody is wondering. I got this off of Etsy, and I'm very sorry. No, I do not remember who made it. Not sure if they're still around. By all means, look it up on Etsy. If you found it, let me know. I will post about it. Or I will I'll write something about it. Or I'll put it in the description. You know what I'm talking about. God, good Lord. All right. What is next? All right. Let's get some snakebite leather. We're just going to go for that. I mean, because the armor is already white. Just like it's supposed to be. And you know what? We'll start where we started before with the pauldron arm. And we'll get the snakebite leather onto the grip. Yes, this Crozius is handmade as a kit bash project. I can't remember the pieces that I used for it, other than this headpiece, which is, I believe it was supposed to be a backpack decoration out of the upgrade kits, but it's I used that. Obviously, we have a hilt here from probably a chain sword. Right. And then I don't know, I used a bunch of other pieces. They might have been from a mace. I can't remember because honestly, it was over a year ago that I had made this. It was supposed to be for Let's Paint Season 3. And we're obviously on Let's Paint Season 4. That's okay. It just wasn't our time yet. Honestly, that's how I kind of felt about this model, is that anytime I was about to do it, I was like, I'm just not ready. And I'm not even sure if I was ready for this one, but I needed something. 40K. And anytime I thought about it, I just couldn't wrap my head around what chapter I would do. I do like my Vlka Fenryka for my Sanguine Heresy. I figured, you know what? Why not? I'm supposed to have done this guy. And that's exactly what he's supposed to be. He's not even Space Wolves. And I know even Space Wolves are not Space Wolves. Everybody else just calls them that. And they just don't care. They are, to them, Vlka Fenryka. I figured in the Sanguine Heresy, that's exactly what they are. That they would still use their old school coloring. In a way. So that's what I've been trying to keep as a motif for them. That the Vlka will keep that. Let's see what else we can do. I almost want to add some orange to the hair, of course. Make them like a strawberry blonde or something. But honestly, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Nazdrag yellow for that hair. A Nazdrag yellow is a darker yellow than, like, say, your Imperial Fist that I have. And the hair is already pretty light with how I shaded everything. So it'll be alright. It won't be that strawberry blonde. And it's okay. Doesn't need to be. If anything, it'll stand out even more so. There we go. I dig it, I dig it, I dig it. I dig it. Hurrah. skeleton horde is something that I probably should use when it comes to the bone, of course. So maybe we will. See how this does on the mask. I haven't used my skeleton horde in quite a while, so let's see what it does. I remember liking it, but also not being like the biggest fan, like, oh, such a game changer. But this is working very well. I like the yellow stain of it. So much so that I was even considering doing it for the base. But honestly, I think I'm gonna go a different route and say with the Reikland Flesh Shade for that base. So it'd be a little darker than usual. So the base was actually the Armageddon dust that I usually use, right? But the whole model was painted, it was primed black, and that's just not how we do this anymore. So what I did, I'm sorry, it was primed gray, and like I said, that's just not how we do this anymore. So I went ahead and took everything and primed it black. And I was like, screw it, the whole base will just get blacked, and then we'll take it from there. So that's exactly what we're doing here. And I figured, all right, yes, it was Armageddon dust. Yes, I could go over it again. No, I don't have to, and I can just do something on the spot. I honestly did not have a plan for it, so this is now our on the spot plan. Is to slap Reikland Flesh Shade all over it. So it's basically like a flesh wash is what we're applying here. All over this black. And it's going to give us a very different look and a very different feel. And we'll see how that dries to know what we're going to do with it next. Honestly, I'm pretty sure what we will do next is go over it with some Creed Khaki, maybe some necrotic flesh, which is like a greenish tint for a flesh tone. Could do that. So I almost forgot about the skull down here, so I'm going to take some necrotic flesh to that. Or sorry, skeleton horde. And now we're going to take some Guilliman flesh, and we're going to do the top of his head, of course, because like me, homeboy has a mohawk. Well, this guy doesn't exactly have a mohawk. I think he has like the undercut that has become so ever popular in the 2020s. And not something that I do. No. I did have one kid when we were at a gas station. He was like, "Hey man, nice mullet." I could not help myself. I was not trying to be rude, but I kind of just glanced up at him in a weird way, and I paused. I won't forget that. I paused, and I was like, "Yeah, not a mullet." And I was busy digging out my wallet and all that fun stuff. I couldn't help myself. He was like, "Oh, sorry." And my wife was behind me. She was like, "Yeah, it's a mohawk." And it's just because I had. So if you have the whole mohawk, right? I had the top half pulled up and put in a ponytail, and then the latter half was just flowing. So, it's not exactly his fault for assuming. I'm not gonna chew the guy out or anything, but I hate mullets. I used to have a shirt that said, "Friends don't let friends have mullets." And so I just thought that was interesting. We're going to go with some Blood Angels Red real quick, and we're going to do the wolf symbol on this pauldron. As I think the white is about what we're going to get it at anyway. The wolf head it's not going to cooperate. the more we add the white, the more it's going to rub off the edges. So we need to make sure we get this thing set. Plus, it doesn't need to be bright and beaming with us anyway. Adds a little bit of a layer of, I guess, grimdark to it, if you will. The fact that it's not that bright and shiny. But there you go. There you go. And then that, of course, the little unit hanging off of him, we can do that in a brass. And that'll be fine. Whoa, actually. Break that back out. I forgot that he has a purity seal on him. Nice little purity seal that should be colored. And I did forget about the skull. The little bird skull on the top of the backpack. So we'll get out the skeleton horde again. And we'll hit that bad boy too. Whew, man. Feeling out of it, man. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Maybe people won't even notice a change, but I feel so tired. I'm so tired. Recording at night is starting to take its toll. Only because we're just so tired after putting the kids to bed, and then of course all the skate park going that we've been doing. Oh my god. Like, we've been going 3-4 times a week, and we've been getting a lot darker. I don't know if you guys remember just how pale. Actually, I think that might be a good example. We were pretty pale, and now we're not. Pretty pale, minus the white, and now we're not. Yeah, I've been liking it, of course. So I'm like, hey, finally, I got some goddamn color. But that's about it. It has been massively fun, honestly. We're having so much fun out there. What do you say we get some metallics out? What kind of metallics are we going to do? I think we should just get the baseline metallics. So we're going to get out gunmetal and do this. We're going to do some gunmetal first. All right. Because I don't think there's anything else that we really need to touch. So we're going to get gunmetal. All right. Usually for these top little orbs, I paint these and the little fin that comes with it silver, but I might leave those fins or the flaps in the black. We'll see how this goes. It's been a while since I've done a jetpack. Of course, as you can see, I'm still using my janky brush too. It happens. You know, once you get to know a brush, you just kind of work with it. I don't mind working with what we have. Adds a layer of difficulty, but also I know what the brush is going to more or less do. So I know how to work with it, make it work for me. Try to make it work for me. I mean, shit, sometimes you really do get smacked in the face and you're like, ah, damn it. All right. Now, I really did think about doing a flare in here, but I think we're going to leave it alone. I mean, for time's sake, we don't exactly have it, but what you could do in here is dry brush all white. Or even just go in here with a paintbrush and just paint it all white. And then pick a color. If you want to go with blues or reds. And then you could start building up the color. I usually do a white dot right there in the center. And then paint everything else. Say if we're going to go with a blue tone. Then we're going to go everything with a light blue. Then you're going to go darker as you go further out. And then you could even hit it with some white streaks up each of these little panels. And then, of course, you can dry brush with black on all the major ridges to, give that little bit of a burn feel to it. Because it is a bit of an exhaust, but it does have some kind of flame, if you will, coming out. And I'm not one to say that, it has to be in the blues or whatnot for it to look right. Dude, if you want to do reds and yellows, I mean, go for it. Go for it. I did it for my Battletech stuff. I had 2 mechs that were flying with their jump jets. And for the smoke, I had put a bunch of red and yellow, and then I dry brushed everything with black, and somebody was kind enough to point out that it's actually going to be more white and gray, because it's not exactly like, I guess, like a rocket, like a modern day rocket and stuff like that. And I was like, I mean, that's all well and cool, but I liked more of the old school feeling, like you're really turning on some boosters there and burning. You're really burning to get up there. So I'm honestly probably just going to keep doing it that way, because it's just kind of how I like to do it. To each their own, as most would probably say. Do it the way that you like. Do it the way that you're comfortable. Don't be afraid to try new things, of course. But if you like it this way and you think it looks good that way, I mean, just keep doing it. Do your thing. So that's what I plan on doing, honestly. It's just to keep doing my thing. And I did it my way. Hey, motherfucker. All right. Bow, bow, bow. All right. And I know the Wolf Priest has its own model. And that Wolf Priest does look pretty darn dope. I'm pretty sure it has its own model. But by the time I had built this, that model was not out, because I'm pretty sure it's a new thing. At least the, quote-unquote new version of it or whatever. For the new edition. I don't really remember what they were doing. But we don't have it, and it's not that big of a deal. So we're just making do with what we have. Plus, if anything, this gives it a more of a personal touch, because when you think of a Wolf Priest, you're thinking probably what anybody else is thinking, like the thumbnail that I used. You're probably expecting to see something like that, and not necessarily something like this. And I think that can work for people. That can work to your advantage. You throw people off, subvert expectations, but not in the Disney Star Wars way. Subvert expectations in the, oh, that's different kind of way. Because I like doing things in my own special way. Sometimes they work, and when they don't, it's okay. They don't have to work all the time. It's okay. It's how we all live and learn, right? Tell you what else we forgot to add that bone color to was the little tooth on his necklace. Forgot to add the bone to that. So I guess we got to get the skeleton horde back out yet again. Good Lord. I usually don't like doing that, but I feel like I haven't even painted in so long, and I have slowed down on it. I know you guys have noticed that I've totally slowed down on painting, and I think it even goes into a little bit of burnout. I was going so hard with those mechs that I was losing interest in 40K, and then I had to slow down with the mechs because I was like, dude, think a little bit harder about what you're gonna paint. Maybe start making some lances and put it up on your Etsy channel. So I did do that. You know, it's just trying to keep myself in a little bit of a balance here. So it's okay. It's okay. All right. Let's get that. All right, you skeleton horde. I'm going to need to dig you back out. You son of a bitch. What are we sitting at? 36 minutes? Not bad, not bad. 36 minutes ain't nothing. I honestly thought we were at 40-something. Oh, I'm way over there. I'm sorry. All right. I think the mask has shown up quite nicely, and now that that has pretty much been drying, what we can do is come back at it with some skeleton bone by Army Painter. And you don't need a lot, just get a little bit, just a little blip. I know you couldn't see what the blip was, but I think you can imagine just how little you need on a blip. And of course, we're going to wipe some of it off, and then we're going to come back in and basically do some edge highlight a little bit. Just highlight the mask. Get the ridges of the brow, the skull line. And there you go. Just like that. Brightens it up, but still keeps a skull tone in there. This is still a little wet under here. I think we can get away with it. Whew, that's a maybe. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, now we can also, as you can see here, bloop, bloop. Kind of like we're edge highlighting. You guys are used to seeing that. And same thing with this. Yeah, you do essentially want to edge highlight what you're doing. I like to make sure everything is accented, but I'm not trying to paint the whole skull again. Get all the ridges. Make sure you get the back of the skull, of course, because that is important. Yeah, you want everything else to brighten back up. Show it off, you know? All right. Now, what we are going to do is grab some barbarian flesh real quick and add a little blip of that. That one's even a tinier blip, because what we are going to do is take that barbarian flesh and we're going to hit the brain fart, the purity seal. Oh my god, so it hit me the other day. I was looking at the Astra Militarum that I did for the channel, and I was like, I can't believe that it's been so long that my brain had shut off so much about 40K that I honestly forgot what the rifles were called. And then it hit me. I was like, right, last rifle. What a dork. I can't believe that. And that really did happen. I just kind of blanked on it. All right, now we're going to get some true copper out. Yeah, I blanked on what the hell the rifle was called. And that was like, it was a little bit of an embarrassing moment for me, at least. It's like, man, how could you forget something like that? I was like, are you really so wrapped up in BattleTech? Good Lord. And especially, you know, now that we're thinking about BattleTech and in relation to 40K, I'd gotten a comment on the lore video that I did saying, no thanks, not interested in BattleTech 40K when it came to the BattleTech Gothic. And I kept it nice on there, and there's no reason to be shitty about it, but I had a feeling somebody somewhere would say it eventually, and I just gotta say, really, dude, it's not. BattleTech Gothic is not even close to 40K. I guess I could see how you'd mistaken that, but it's really not. And if you're just looking to be closed-minded about it, I mean, god damn. Take your shit somewhere else then. Because this is nothing. This is nothing like 40K. There are no demons. If you think the abominations are that, then I'm sorry, you're an idiot. Then you didn't listen to the lore. They're not demons. They're real living beasts. What we did was genetically modify them, and then we grafted weapons onto them because we're insane. Because humanity is stupid. Because they just have to do things like that. We just can't play nice. We can't have nice things. Have you ever noticed our real world? We could have it so nice. We could have it so clean and special and have some amazing technology. We could be living in such an amazingly beautiful world. And we don't. Because we suck. Because we have to profit on everything. Because we have to do this. We had to make it evil. I feel like you're a fool if you think there's no evil in the world. Of course there's plenty of evil. All you'd have to do is look no further than the whole island fiasco. You don't even have to go into detail about that. I feel like that word is even shadow banned at this point. Of course there's evil in the world. Humanity is here. If there's no evil in the world, humanity is gone. We could have such an amazing time here. We could have such an amazing planet. We could have amazing lives. Every single person could. And we choose not to. We really choose not to do that. It's baffling, but it's also fascinating to see such a wonderfully ignorant species be collectively this stupid. Yeah, there's no spoiler alert here. You guys know I am not a fan of the human race. There's plenty of stuff that we just don't deserve. We don't deserve the planet, that's for sure. What was it? I think somebody said we don't deserve dogs. Not even some people, just humanity does not deserve dogs. I was like, you know, I think you got a real solid point there. You don't even have to elaborate. I get that. All right. What else do we need to add some copper to? Well, this needs to be painted a little bit, so we're going to get some rough iron if I can find it. I have my death metal. Did my rough iron end up over here? No, that's weapons. That's greedy gold. What is that over there? That's true brass. Why do you have my true brass? Death metal. What the hell, dude? All right, fine. We'll have to go with, nope. There's my rough iron. It was laying down for some reason. I wanted the rough iron because death metal has a different hue to it, whereas rough iron is very much just, it's kind of like a brownish metal. And I swear death metal is just, of course, a metallic black, which would be, you know, appropriate and understandable. But for the rebar that's poking out of this, you know, I've worked with rebar plenty of times before on construction jobs. All right. He ain't looking too shabby. I like it. I mean, he's looking nice. I like it. I dig it. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. What we are going to do is be just a little fancy. And we're going to take some silver, not some bronze or copper that we've been working with. We're going to take the gunmetal because it'll contrast against the hair. And we're going to go right here. Also going to go right here to accent the parts of the hair that are collected for the braid. To show, and you know, you could have done any color, but to show that he has, you know, certain accents in his hair. Duh. And I think now would not be a terrible time to start gluing things together, especially since we're 47 minutes in. And that base is looking disgusting. Not even sure if that's a good disgusting or a bad disgusting. It just looks, It looks putrid. He looks like he's on a sickly world right now. And we might alter it. I mean, we're going to end up altering it anyway. But let's see what we got here. I'll tell you what we have on the TV, which is funny. We have an ad for TCG Player, as if I haven't spent enough money there. I know that's exactly why I'm getting the ads too, because I've spent money. So they're just like, hey, spend more money. And I'm like, hey, go fuck yourself. I've spent plenty of money, too much money, which, hey, I did get another win in Magic. It wasn't with the deck that I wanted to win with. I've only won with 2 of my decks. And one of them is my Waltz deck, as it's labeled on the board. It's the commander is Kuja. It's my Black Mage deck. He creates Black Mages at the beginning of every end step. I like him a lot. I like that deck. It's a burner deck. Group Slug. I think it's become enough of a threat where I was getting targeted. That they were really, they started to band against me in a way. I thought that was cute. I was like, dude, I mean, I didn't think I was doing that much. And everybody was like, dude, you've been doing work. Look at our health. Look at the board. And yeah, sure, one dude's sitting at 2. Another dude was sitting at 4. And I think 9 for another one. And I was like, yeah, but we've all been collectively doing some stuff. But they were like, no, don't sell yourself short. You've been doing the most damage. But it honestly didn't even feel that way. Because, well, the first latter half of the game, or the first latter half, that's fucking stupid. The first half of the game, I had my commander stolen by one of the others. So I pulled, I guess, a ballsy move. I decided to cast something to do 1 damage to each creature. And they were like, dude, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm pinging the black wizard that you just made. Because you stole my commander last turn. So you now made a black wizard, and now you're going to start burning everybody else with my commander. That is my job. Screw you. You're not going to get away with my job, with my technique. And it took out a couple goblins from another player, and whenever his things die, we have to sacrifice I think just as many. It was either 1 or 3 each, and I can't exactly remember. And I was like, oh no. So it basically board wiped, and I got my commander back, and I was like, ah, that sucks. They were like, damn it, dude. And I was like, ah, don't steal my shit. I mean, good play. Hey, smart play, man. Don't steal my shit. All right, so here he is. I've been waiting a long time to see how he was going to turn out. And you know what? I like it. I've been very curious on how this thing was gonna be. And I feel like I got here before I even really realized it. Which is typical. I was so busy yapping, I didn't even realize that we are here at the finish line. No, I mean, kind of the finish line. We are at 51 minutes or whatnot. But, yeah. Look at that. A nice gray arm. I know I could have hit it with the Russ. I didn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But what does matter is when we put on a bunch of these decals. These decnals, man. As Ricky would say, decnals. Let's do some decals. And I'm going to figure out that base later. Or, you know what? I'll figure it out now. We'll just address it now. All right. I think, what did I say? We were going to try necrotic flesh? Yeah, we're going to try some necrotic flesh. All right. Let's get that in necrotic flesh. Whoop, 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 whoop. You know, we'll get the trusty one out. Yes, try. All right. I don't know why that jumped in my head. And there you go. There's my crappy Star Wars theme. Speaking of crappy, I'm not liking the space. So I'm not sure what to do with it just yet. I might just say screw it and add a layer of mud. Like, honestly, I just might do that. I think that'll probably benefit us a lot better than trying to figure out this coloring. But anyway, let us figure out this. Of course that skull is going to be a little bit too big. You think it's going to be too big? It probably is going to be just a little bit too big. But I needed something like that, you know? So that's basically all I have. When it came to the wolf stuff, I didn't have much to work with. Let's see. It is giant. And the other wolf one is gone. Let's risk it. Life is about taking risks, right? Let's risk it. Come on, friends. We've been here for almost an hour. Let's do it! Let's get that bad boy going. What does this say? That is the mortis. Okay. Let's get a couple runes for the knees. There's one. There's for the other. And you know what? We're even going to get out one of these for his hand. You know what? This one will be for the pistol since it's so much smaller. And this can be the one for the hand. Sure do like having the runes. They're fun. He's been pretty fun. I'll say that. He's been kind of fun here. Not sure where we're going to add that mortise, if we're even going to add that somewhere. But, let's see how we can get this off. If this is even willing to move. It doesn't look like it. Oh. Speaking of not willing to move, it's wanting to do that. It's wanting to crinkle on us. Ooh, it's old. You see that? It's ripping on us. Yep, it ripped. All right, new plan. I think we're going to go with this instead. That's about the only other option that I have. Let's see what the other wolf pack has. It doesn't have shit. It's a Horus Heresy one. It don't have jack. Let's see what the big one has. This one doesn't really have much either. That's okay. But doing this gives me a way to use the mortise. So I got that. And I have this little sumbitch here that says mortis. And while we let those get wet, we are going to open up this mud and say screw it, because I do not like how the base turned out. We are going to slap a bunch of mud on here and call it a day. And it's really that simple too when it comes to that. And it's also too late to back out of that plan. But at least with the mud, we don't have to be as careful. We just slap it on. Make a nice thick base as much as you want. But just make sure that it doesn't, I don't know, round out, pool. That it makes it look like we painted it. The Mega Man stuff has subsided, and now we have Final Fantasy X. It's on the boat, and it's the nighttime, so it's very acoustic and chill. And I'm like, wow, I could fall asleep. I could really fall asleep right now with all that. Oh, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. With the rocks poking out and everything, it'll be alright. Because then, once it dries, all I gotta do is dry brush it with the same necrotic flesh and everything will match anyway. So, okay. Let's try this again, and then we can get up out of here. All we gotta do is slap on these. Transfers. Good lord. Alright. Now, as you can see which one I'm going with here. I'm going to go with that mortise. Don't you wake up now, boy. Sorry. I have the monitor with me. Okay. Moment of truth. Yep. Yep. He woke up. Doesn't that figure? It's always in the crucial moments that your children will wake up. Boom, not bad. Not bad. All right. Hitting the pause. Okay, crisis averted. We are good. Good. Whew. Sorry about that, folks. I mean, not that sorry. I mean, duty calls. Parent gotta do parent things. But damn, all of these kind of dried on me. Makes this just a little bit harder. This brush has become pain in the ass. It has become a big pain in the ass now. I don't know how it got so frayed to the point I can't work with it properly. But a little trim, and we'll be okay. I forgot this knife is my X-Acto blade is also kind of messed up because I used it to apply some grip tape to a new board. I was like, duh. A little bit of an idiot move there, bub. All right, can we get this? All right, we can. Good. I'm like, dude, if I can't get these to move, it's kind of going to be a problem. There you go. Trying to add the water, let it do its job, you know. All right, let's get a little symbol right here. Hopefully we can. I think we can. I think we can. Bloop. Just like that. Ain't that cute? I think it's cute. I think it's a cute little touch, damn it. All right. That's right. We're going to get runes on both knees because we can. There we go. Not too bad. And this rune actually matches the necklace that he is wearing. That's pretty nifty. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. Where's this one going? I think this was going to his hand. Yeah. I think it was, and I think I want to move it now. Yes, we'll move it. I'm going to put it up here. It's a nice little random spot for it. I remember at one point I had even had the words Vlka Fenryka pulled out for the transfers, and then I don't know how I never realized it until like a couple days ago when I was priming this. I was like, dude, those letters are black. That does not help me. And my wife was like, why doesn't that help you? I'm like, dude, the whole armor is fucking black. He's like, oh, I see how that's a problem. I'm like, right. That sucks. Well, anyway, I think that's about it for us here on Let's Paint. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and give a subscribe, maybe even a like. Help me grow. Help me do this for a living because, like a few millennials out there, I have lost all hope in the larger picture of the world of corporate greed and trying to be your average 9-to-5 citizen of society. I don't think I have it in me. But I know I'm good at this. And if you think so too, help a brother out. If not, well, let a brother know. Be like, hey, you suck. I'll be like, hey, thanks for being honest. Because in a world like this, I prefer your honest opinion. And with that, I will bid you guys adieu. I'll see you next week when it comes to the next episode of Battletech. The next episode of Let's Paint, which will be Battletech. And I think next week we are going to do the big, bad, fearsome Urban Mech. Yes! May the Void Father guide your brush, guys. Peace!